Welcome back to RNC Music. Now, I have shuffled the format up a little bit for these vinyl videos. Instead of doing the entire video on the desk, what we'll do is we'll do the facts and introduction on the set and take a look at my copy on the desk, as usual. But anyways, let's just get into the video. So, the video I have for the album I have for this video today is this such album, Chicago Transit Authority, or Chicago's debut double LP. So let's just get into some background real quick. So this is Chicago Transit Authority. Now, a little backstory before I get into the facts. Still a little bit of facts, but it's a backstory. This band, Chicago, technically has two self-titled albums. I may say RNC. How is this possible if there is no specific album called Chicago? Well, if you'll remember back to my Chicago 2 video, which is a little while ago, I said that the technical name written on the spine of the album is not actually Chicago 2, but just Chicago. And that other self-titled album is Chicago Transit Authority. Now, the reason for this being is the original band's name was Chicago Transit Authority. Now, the thing is there's an actual City of Chicago Transit Authority, and they had threatened the band with legal action if they did not stop using their name. So they decided to shorten it to just Chicago. And I guess the City of Chicago is fine with them using that name, but apparently Chicago Transit Authority was a little mad about this. I don't know why. But anyways, this album was released on April 28th, 1969. It was recorded January 27th through the 30th of 1969 at the Columbia Recording Studios in New York City. Now, originally, Columbia was hesitant on giving Chicago Transit Authority the double LP status for their debut album. But that seemed to have worked, considering they sold quite a few copies of this, and Chicago is a very well-respected band today, releasing many more double LPs under the Columbia label. Genre is jazz, rock, progressive rock. It's kind of a mix of everything, but it's basically my three favorite genres put into one album. Length is about 76 minutes. It's a lot, but then again, it's a double LP Chicago album. And really, what my take on it is real Chicago fans, such as myself, would listen to the entire double LP. But for you guys that just want a jazz rock fusion album, just listen to one of their single LP albums like Chicago 8, which I highly recommend. There are 4 singles from this album, these being Questions 67 and 68, I'm a Man, Beginnings, and does anybody really know what time it is? This album reached number 15 on the US Billboard 200 in 1971 and initially hit 17th on the Weekly 200 chart in 1969. Band members include, for this album, Terry Kath on guitar, backing, and lead vocals, Robert Lamb on keyboards, lead and backing vocals, Peter Cetera on bass, backing, and lead vocals, Walter Perizader on saxophone and tambourine, Lee Longan on trumpet and claves, James Pankow on trombone and cowbell, Danny Safran on drums and percussion. And that's about all the main band members. There are obviously a couple other multi-instrumentalist people that gave a little bit of work here and there, but they were not included on the liner notes of this album. Awards given to this album at the time were the group was nominated for a Grammy in 1969 for Best New Artist of the Year. They did not win it, unfortunately, but they were nominated. Chicago Transit Authority was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2014. CTA is the only Chicago album listed on the 1001 albums you must hear before you die. That's all I have for awards. And extras. This album was initially mixed for quadraphonic and released on the special SQ vinyl format. For you those not familiar with SQ vinyl format, what it was it was a type of vinyl. It was pressed on normal black vinyl. But the interesting part was when you played it on a regular turntable, such as my Denon back here, it would not sound right. It'd sound very tinny and weird, almost as if you would not have your phono preamp plugged into your receiver before you had played it. But the thing was, is you had your phono preamp plugged in, but you didn't have the special SQ vinyl decoder, which is why SQ vinyl was weird and didn't really take off. And really, SQ vinyl, the only thing it did was add quadraphonic sound. So you had to either have a SQ special hi-fi receiver or a special decoder. It was weird and it didn't really catch on. Anyways, it was also released on the Dolby quadraphonic 8-track format, which was a lot more popular, considering you could put it in a normal 8-track player. You would just have to have a special receiver that could output it. And many receivers and hi-fi companies put out a quadraphonic 8-track player / receiver. And the album also had a 2019 reissue and remaster done by Rhino Records. That's about all I have for the facts. One last fact, I guess, is this is technically the front of the album with the tiny little CTA logo right here. But for any later CD and cassette releases, this would be the front cover, which is the bigger backside. Just thought I wanted to include that there. By the way, if you see me looking down past the camera, that is because I have my laptop sitting just below, reading notes and everything, because I'm not stuck behind a phone reading off a computer screen anymore. I'm in front of a camera, in front of a computer. Anyways, let's hop over to the desk and check out the rest of this album, shall we? Alright, so here we are back at the desk, and we're going to check this album out. So, first things first, unfortunately, since this album cover is primarily black, you can see ring rash and ring wear a lot more common on these types of LPs, especially this one with the black on it. You can see the outer ring rash from the edge of the disc, and even center ring rash from the raised label on the pressed LP, which is quite unfortunate because it is a pretty striking album cover, but it's just the way it goes. I mean, I've seen quite a few of these now that have this ring rash. Unfortunate, but it happens. Now, flipping to the back, you can see it even has a little water damage here, which is also unfortunate. But it's just the way it goes with these kinds of records. So yeah. And you get a little ring rash on the back here, but since it's a solid blue color, it's not as prominent. So, opening it up, we get pictures of the band members, and as you can see, it has decided to delaminate itself due to water damage, but it's okay. And right here, it's come up a little bit. No copy is perfect. Here's some pictures of, obviously, the band members and some liner notes. I'm not going to read it all because it's just stuff, just producer's note and guitar stuff. Very interesting technical stuff, but I won't go into it to not bore you guys. And since this is a Chicago album, I will be able to do a playing demo, and it will be from the Denon DP15. Unfortunately, I have not figured out a totally working video solution. I've used like the webcam streaming apps for your phone from my S7, and it gets like 2 seconds per frame. So it's far from perfect, but I think it will work for my needs. It just won't look the best, but it'll sound good. I'll tell you that. It'll sound good. But anyways, this is here's the sleeve. It's water damaged, of course, and creased and folded, and not even glued together anymore. But the disc is in a little bit better condition. I have not thoroughly cleaned it. That's not gouges or anything. That's just a little bit of mildew on the record. I have not fully cleaned this album yet. I've just cleaned a couple tracks on a few of these sides so they can be listenable for a playing demo, which we'll probably just do introduction on side 1, disc 1, which is this disc, and then this is side 2 on the back here. So yeah, quite dirty, but scratch wise it's pretty good, which is why I bought this album. I think $3 is what I paid. So see if I can grab this other sleeve out and check out disc 2. This sleeve is a mirror of the first sleeve, but in much better condition. Just one crease here, but still apparent with the water damage and the creasing with the wrinkles. This just has all the blah 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 Columbia advertisements. On the back side, which is the same on this one, I just didn't flip it over. It has all of the albums of the day. So we got some Andy Williams, we got Taj Mahal, we got Johnny Mathis, The Flock, Jim Neighbors, pretty much your grandparents' music, Jerry Vale. We got Johnny Cash on here, which is a little more mainstream, but mostly just we got Santana too, so, but it's mostly just grandparents' music, which a lot of people view Chicago as. I think Chicago's a little too heavy for Grandma and Grandpa, especially some of the guitar stuff. I think Free From Guitar is basically just an avant-garde guitar solo track, which is very weird, but very interesting at the same time, that they could get such sounds out of a Fender Stratocaster. Anyways, playing demo, we'll throw it on the old DP15. I'll be recording video with my Samsung Galaxy S7 into OBS and hopefully be able to put it on YouTube. If not, I'll just throw it up on Odyssey. You guys know where to find the Odyssey links. They're down in the description, as always. Yeah. So a little bit of a different format for today's video. Here's the spine. Chicago Transit Authority. It's a little off-center, but a little bit of a different video, like production-wise. But I'd like to keep it this way. I like the setup of this. I think it looks a lot better, a little less amateur, a little more professional. But anyways, yeah, playing demo is gonna be more unorthodox, but it's gonna sound great. That is my main point that I want to get after. Is it's gonna sound great and look okay as well. But yeah, let's get into that playing demo and end off the video. So this has been RNC Music with Chicago Transit Authority, and I am out. I hit the microphone, my bad.
changes.